This is Dr. Paul Thomlinson from Compass Health Network, and I'm doing a continuing series seeking to inspire hope and promote wellness by applying evidence-based psychology to the COVID-19 situation. This one is called Give Yourself a Break. You're living in Maslow's basement. One of my favorite psychologists and another intellectual hero of mine is Kurt Levine, who was known to say, "There's nothing so practical as a good theory." What does that even mean? I think it means that a good theory is one that predicts and explains behavior. There are a lot of good theories in psychology, ones that help us very practically predict and explain our own behavior and the behavior of others. So I want to drop a little Psych 101 on you here because I want to talk about a theory that couldn't be more relevant right now. And if you ever took a psychology class in high school or college or beyond, you know the name Abraham Maslow. Abe Maslow was a psychologist who became dissatisfied with the other psychological theories of his time, mostly behavioral and psychoanalytic theories. Think names like B.F. Skinner and Sigmund Freud, because they seemed to reduce humans to either rat-like responses to reward and punishment or to a bundle of impulses created in our childhood. But mostly he was dissatisfied because they didn't pay enough attention to the positive and life-giving aspects of human experience. That's why Maslow is thought of as one of the major forces in humanistic psychology, which is an approach that pays attention to the highest aspirations and motivations that we have, our striving for mastery and how to get to the best in us. So Maslow's theory describing a hierarchy of human needs, just a big word, it means sort of a pyramid from low to high, was fully expressed in his 1954 book called Motivation and Personality. It breaks down like this. Human beings have basic existence requirements. That's the bottom of the pyramid, like food, water, air, shelter, sleep, etc. The biological basics. And if those are met, then the next rung of the ladder is safety and security. The idea is if we feel safe and secure, then we can climb up and start on our love and belonging needs, which is the next level. And then at the top of the pyramid, or the ladder if you prefer that, is self-actualization, which just means the highest level of human experience, seeking to express our true selves and artistic, spiritual, athletic, other peak experiences. In other words, all those things that we are hearing about now that we're supposed to be doing, the things that we're supposed to be maximizing with all this time windfall that we're supposedly all having right now during lockdown or quarantine or isolation or whatever you call this strange time we're in. The thing about Maslow and his hierarchy is, though, we're not likely to level up, as our gaming friends say, until the needs at the current level are fulfilled. So if some level of need remains unfulfilled, we are thought to sort of be stuck at our current level until the situation changes. The idea being, if we're at the bottom level of basic existence requirements, we get stuck there until those are fulfilled. In other words, we can't move up to the next level of really seeking safety and security until those existence needs are met, etc. So you can see how this theory is suddenly super relevant, right? Let me ask you this. Have any of you been feeling a little guilty, maybe beating yourself up, otherwise feeling bad about the fact that you haven't met your fitness goals, haven't become a fabulous chef, haven't learned Paganini on violin, organized your photo collection, read the great works of literature, written your magnum opus or the new Bohemian Rhapsody, dropped the great American novel, become a prima ballerina, and on and on and on, whatever? Well, Dr. Maslow and I are here to tell you, give yourself a break. This is where theory becomes very practical. As I heard it put recently, during this pandemic experience, we are all living in Maslow's basement, so to speak. That is, we are worried, rightly or wrongly, about those basic levels of food, water, air, shelter, and toilet paper. If we're fixated there, we're probably not going to be terribly energized to seek out the realization of our highest and truest selves through the kinds of activities I mentioned before. There are exceptions, of course, but I'm just saying, give yourself a break if you're struggling to just get out of bed. Take a shower, take care of your kids, eat something besides quarantine snack cakes, or get something like a decent night's sleep. If you're doing any of those things right now, good on you, mate. Well done. Keep up the good work. Start where you are, as they say. Breathe in and out. Keep putting one foot in front of the other as you walk between rooms of your house or outside in the sunshine at a safe distance from others. Drink your water. Choose a carrot instead of carrot cake if you can now and then. Start where you are. Most of all, be gentle with yourself and with those around you. Extend grace to yourself and others. Don't expect too much from yourself or of others. By the way, that mindset of not expecting too much of yourself or of others right now actually gives you many opportunities to be delighted. I think delight is what happens when our expectations are exceeded. So when we see people loving each other creatively, extending kindness above and beyond the call of duty, giving of themselves selflessly, we can be inspired with hope and be encouraged that we will get through this together. We are all in this storm together, but we're not all in the same kind of vessel as we weather the storm. It's more than okay if your vessel is a little leaky and is being tossed on the storm more than some others. We will get through it together. Now, since this series is about bringing hope to our journey through COVID-19 through the application of evidence-based psychology, I feel compelled to say a word or two about the scientific status of Maslow's much-loved hierarchy of needs theory, which remains a very popular framework. It's kind of unique in that respect. Most scientific theories remain in the playground of scientists, but Maslow has widespread impact outside of academia. Though it is heavily contested among academics, I should note, it has immediate resonance with people and has captured the popular imagination, which is maybe the most telling evidence of its real significance. It explains human nature as something that most human beings immediately recognize in themselves and others. So I'll begin to close with this. Maslow's original theory asserts that a lower level of need must be completely satisfied and fulfilled before moving on to a higher pursuit. But these days, scholars have come to think of these levels as continuously overlapping each other, meaning the lower levels may take precedence back over the other levels at any point in time. That's where many of us are now, where those basic levels have taken precedence over the pursuit of higher aspirations, maybe. If so, again, be gentle with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Your magnum opus awaits you once we get through the toilet paper and mask situation. We'll get through this together, and right now, getting through is absolutely enough. I'll close with this. In a wonderful coincidence, a musician friend of mine called me in the midst of my writing this piece on Maslow. He's a very gifted and talented musician and a great guy. And he was calling because he's wondering if he should drop out of a musical project we're working on together. See, we're supposed to be learning and practicing some pretty challenging songs during quarantine for this project, and he was feeling discouraged because he hasn't been feeling energized and motivated enough to make much progress on that goal. I told him the same thing I'm sharing with you. I get it. That's normal. You are living in Maslow's basement. So please be gentle with yourself. Do what you can. Breathe in and out. The music awaits all of us on the other side.